Have you ever thought about remarrying but wondered if it's the right move at this point in life? I've been there too, and it's not as simple as it seems. Hi there, friends. If you're over 65 and picturing a second shot at marriage, you're in good company. As we get older, love can still light up our lives, but remarriage after 60 isn't quite like it was back in our 20s or 30s. I've spent years as a senior navigating life's big decisions, like love and marriage, and I've learned what really matters at this stage. Today, I am walking you through 10 key truths you need to know before saying, I do again. These are lessons I've picked up along the way, and they could save you headaches, protect your happiness, and help you make a choice that feels just right. Whether you're widowed, divorced, or just dreaming about it, stick around. These might catch you by surprise and could change everything. Let's dive in. Truth number 1. Your money might not stay yours. Do you ever worry about how a new marriage might affect your savings or what you leave for your kids? I had a friend, Jim, who's 67. After his wife passed, he spent a few years adjusting to life alone, paying the bills, keeping the house going, enjoying his quiet retirement. Then he met Clara at a community dance, and sparks flew. She was kind, funny, and loved gardening as much as he did. They remarried within a year, thinking it'd be smooth sailing, his retirement savings for him, her small pension for her. But a few months in, Jim got a letter about his Social Security survivor benefits. They'd shrunk because he'd remarried. Worse, his daughter pulled him aside one day, worried sick. "Dad," she said, "what happens to the house if something happens to you? Does Clara get it?" Jim hadn't even thought about it. He'd always planned to leave his home, where his kids grew up, to them. But in his state, Clara could claim a chunk of it, legally, unless he'd set things up differently. It wasn't that he didn't trust Clara. It was just a shock to realize how much remarriage tangled his money. He started losing sleep, picturing his kids left with less than he'd promised. Here's the catch. After 60, remarriage ties your finances together in ways you might not see coming. Social Security can drop if you're widowed, sometimes by hundreds a month. Your new spouse could have rights to your savings, your home, even your old baseball card collection if it's worth something. And if you've got kids or grandkids, they might feel pushed out, even if that's not your intent. Don't wait. Sit down with a financial advisor before the wedding bells ring. Look at your benefits, Social Security, pensions, whatever you've got. Update your estate plan. Maybe a trust to lock in what goes to your kids. Talk to your partner too. Clara was fine with Jim sorting it out once she understood. Consider separate accounts if it feels right, and write it down. It's not the fun part, no champagne and roses here, but it's a gift to yourself. You'll sleep better knowing your money stays where you want it, and your family's taken care of. Oh, and one more tip. Check your state's laws. Some places give spouses more rights than others. A little homework now saves a lot of worry later. Truth number 2. Your family might not be on board. Have you noticed your kids acting a little funny when you mention a new partner? My cousin Linda, 69, was over the moon to remarry after years alone. She'd been widowed for a decade, raising her 2 kids solo after her husband passed young. She met Paul at a book club, tall, gentle, loved mysteries as much as she did. When they got engaged, she called me, giddy as a schoolgirl, picturing family barbecues with him fitting right in. But when she told her kids, both in their 40s now, they didn't cheer like she'd hoped. Her son Mike got quiet, then asked, "What about Dad's memory? Does this mean you're moving on?" Her daughter Sarah chimed in, "What happens to the house? We grew up there." Linda was floored. They weren't a T against Paul. They liked him fine when they met, but they weren't T ready for this shift. Mike later admitted he felt like Paul was erasing their dad, even though Linda swore that wasn't true. Sarah worried Paul might inherit everything, leaving them with nothing from their mom's hard work. It got tense. Thanksgiving was awkward that year, with forced smiles and too much silence. Linda didn't want to lose her kids over this, but she also didn't want to lose Paul. Remarrying later in life isn't just about 2 people, it's a family affair. Adult kids might feel torn about a past spouse like Mike did, or fret over inheritance like Sarah. Grandkids might wonder who this new person is. My niece once asked Linda, "Is Paul my grandpa now?" It's sweet, but tricky. Talk to your family early. Don't wait for the invites to go out. Sit them down, maybe over coffee, and share your plans. "I love Paul, but your dad's still part of me," Linda told Mike. Hear their worries. Really listen, even if it stings. Give them time to warm up. Mike came around after a few chats, and Sarah softened when Linda showed her the will staying the same. Include your partner too. Paul started joining family dinners, cracking jokes, winning them over slowly. If it's grandkids, ease them in. Maybe a picnic where the new spouse brings cookies, not pressure. And here's a practical tip. Write down what you're leaving to who. Share it if it helps. It's not about money, it's about trust. Linda learned patience was key. It took months, but her family found peace with Paul. Start those talks now, and you'll keep the love flowing instead of letting it fray. Truth number 3. Love feels different now. Do you think remarriage will feel like it did when you were 30? I used to think so too. Take my neighbor Ed, 71. He lost his wife of 40 years to cancer, and it hit him hard. Those quiet evenings alone were the worst. Then he met Diane at a senior fitness class. Petite, bright-eyed, always laughing. They hit it off, swapping stories about grandkids and old movies. Ed thought remarriage would feel like it did with his first wife, Mary. Big plans, a house full of kids, dreams stretching out forever. They tied the knot quick, excited for a fresh start. But a month in, Ed noticed something. Diane loved her independence. She had her own place, her morning yoga, her book group, things she wasn't giving up. Ed, though, was used to a tighter bond, shared meals, same bedtime. He'd suggest moving in together fully, and she'd smile and say, "I like my space, don't you?" It threw him off. He felt a little lost, wondering if this was even love. They cared deeply, but their rhythms clashed. He started missing Mary's way, then felt guilty for it. Here's the truth. After 60, marriage isn't about starting fresh. It's about blending two full lives. You've got habits, like Ed's early dinners or Diane's yoga, decades in the making. You've got independence, maybe some scars from loss or divorce. That's normal, but it means love looks different now. Less about building, more about sharing what's already there. Figure out what you both want before the I do's. Ed and Diane talked it out, finally. He asked, "One home or two?" She said 2, but dinners together. It worked. Ask yourself, how much time do you need together? Do you want to merge everything or keep some separateness? Maybe you try living apart together. Separate houses, committed hearts. Talk about routines too. Ed learned to love Diane's yoga mornings once he stopped pushing his way. And if past loves linger, like Mary did for Ed, say it out loud. It's okay to honor them. Build something new that fits you both, not some old blueprint. That's how Ed and Diane turned confusion into comfort. Slow, honest steps. Truth number 4. The law can surprise you. Ever thought about who'd make decisions for you if you got sick? I heard about Grace, 66, from a friend at church. She'd been divorced for 15 years, raised 3 kids alone, built a cozy life with her garden and her dog. Then she met Tom at a widow's support group. Soft-spoken, handy with tools, a perfect match. They remarried after a sweet courtship, and Grace felt on top of the world. She figured her kids would always be her go-to if anything happened, like medical choices or managing her little nest egg. But then came a health scare, a bad fall, a week in the hospital. Grace assumed her oldest, Jenny, would handle things. They'd talked about it for years. Instead, Tom stepped in. Legally, he had priority as her spouse. Jenny was hurt, saying, "Mom, I thought I'd be there for you." Tom meant well, but he and Jenny clashed over what Grace needed, rest at home versus rehab. Grace woke up to a mess she hadn't seen coming. Marriage after 60 isn't just love. It's a legal bond with teeth. Your spouse might get rights to your care, your money, your home, even if you pictured it differently. Grace didn't know Tom could override Jenny without a clear plan. And if she'd passed, Tom might have gotten half her savings, leaving less for her kids. See a lawyer before the big day. It's not glamorous, but it's smart. Grace could have done a prenup, spelling out what's hers and Tom's. Say, her house stays for the kids, his truck stays his. Update your will too. Make it ironclad who gets what. And medical stuff? Set up a power of attorney. Grace gave Jenny that role after the scare, so Tom wouldn't feel stuck. Talk to your partner. Tom was fine once Grace explained her kid's place in her heart. Check your state's rules too. Some give spouses more say than others. It's not about mistrust, it's about clarity. Grace learned the hard way, but you don't have to. Plan ahead, and you'll keep the peace. Truth number 5. Happiness isn't what it used to be. What makes you happy these days? Big adventures or quiet mornings with coffee? My old friend Tom, 73, was a character. Loved his fishing, his porch swing, his simple days. After his first wife passed, he spent years alone, content but lonely. Then he met Sue at a senior dance. Lively, always smiling, a whirlwind. He remarried fast, thinking it'd bring back the buzz of his 20s. Road trips, late nights, that young love spark. Sue was all in, planning parties, dragging him to socials. But Tom started feeling off. He'd rather fish than mingle, nap than dance. One day he grumbled to me, "I miss my quiet. She's great, but this isn't me." Sue didn't get it at first. She thought marriage meant go, go, go. They argued some, then talked. Tom realized he'd chased an old idea of happiness, not what he wanted now. After 60, happiness isn't about rebuilding, it's about enjoying what you've got. Back then it was kids, careers, a bustling house. Now, it's peace, comfort, your own pace. Tom's joy was his rod and reel, not a packed calendar. Ask, does this person fit my life today? Sue loved crowds. Tom didn't. Get clear on your happiness first. Write it down. What fills your days with light? Quiet? Travel? Alone time? Share it with your partner. Tom told Sue, "I need my mornings free." She adjusted, hosting friends while he fished. Compromise works if it's honest. Maybe you test it, date longer, see if your rhythms match. Tom and Sue found a middle ground, but only after he owned what happiness meant now. Don't assume love fixes everything. It's a partner, not a cure. Know your joy and build from there. Truth number 6. Your health could take a hit. Do you think about how a new spouse might change your daily health habits? My pal Betty, 68, was a health nut in the best way. Salads, early bedtimes, walks every dawn. She'd dodged heart trouble her mom had, kept her energy up for her grandkids. Then she met Ray at a bingo night. Big laugh, bigger appetite. He loved fried chicken, late movies, sleeping in. Betty fell hard, and they remarried quick, thrilled to share life. At first it was cute. Ray'd cook her his greasy specials, coax her to stay up for old westerns. But after a few months, Betty felt it. Her knees ached more, her blood pressure spiked at a checkup. She'd swapped her greens for his fries, her 9 p.m. bedtime for midnight. Ray didn't push, he just lived his way, and Betty followed to bond. She panicked, thinking, "I can't lose what I've worked for." Remarriage can shake up your health routines, and at our age, that's big. We've got diets, meds, habits keeping us ticking. Betty's walks were her lifeline. A new spouse's ways can pull you off course, not on purpose, but it happens. Ray didn't know Betty's stakes till she spoke up. Chat about it early. Betty told Ray, "I love your cooking, but I need my veggies too." He grinned, started grilling instead of frying. Share your must-haves, maybe it's no sugar or that morning stretch. Try their stuff, but set limits. Betty watched one movie, then bed. Even small shifts like Ray's salt habit matter. Check with your doc if you're unsure. Blend your routines. Betty got Ray walking some days. It's not about changing them, it's keeping you strong together. Truth number 7. Old memories don't fade. Do you ever catch yourself thinking about your first marriage even years later? I knew a guy, Carl, 70, who remarried after losing his wife, Ellen, to illness. He'd loved her since high school, 50 years of picnics, fights, raising kids. Then he met Joan at a grief group. Warm, sharp, a gardener like him. They clicked and remarriage felt right. Carl was happy, but old habits stuck. Over dinner he'd say, "Ellen made this stew better," or laugh, "She hated my snoring too." Joan's face would tighten, not mad, just unsure. Carl didn't mean to compare. Those memories just bubbled up. One night, Joan asked, "Do you still love her more?" Carl froze. He adored Joan, but Ellen was part of him. It got rocky. Joan felt second best, and Carl felt guilty for feeling it all. When you remarry after 60, you bring decades of history. Past spouses, good days, hard ones, don't vanish. It's not wrong. It's human. But it can stir things up. Joan had her own ex's ghost too, an old anniversary she'd mention. Be open about it. Carl sat Joan down, said, "Ellen's my past. She shaped me. You're mine now." Joan shared her old hurts too. It wasn't instant, but they built trust. Let your partner know what those memories mean. Carl kept a photo of Ellen, and Joan was okay once she understood. Listen if they've got baggage. Joan's ex-tales helped Carl see her heart. Don't hide it, that festers. Maybe set boundaries. Carl stopped mid-stew rambles. Time helps, but talking's the start. Carl and Joan grew stronger, past and all. Truth number 8, your social life might shift. Have you wondered how remarrying might change your Friday nights with friends? My friend Helen, 65, was the queen of her crew. Card games every Friday, potlucks at her place, a chatty bunch she'd known forever. Widowed young, she'd built that circle to fill the quiet. Then she met Dave at a dance class. Shy, handy, loved her cooking. They remarried, and Helen pictured Dave sliding into her social world. But Dave was a homebody, TV, a beer, early nights. First Friday after the wedding, Helen said, "Cards tonight." Dave shrugged. "I'll stay in." She went, but felt torn. Her gang asked, "Where's Dave?" Weeks passed. Dave skipped more, and Helen cut games short to join him. Her friends noticed. She wasn't her bubbly self. She loved Dave but missed her Fridays. Dave felt bad too. He didn't want her stuck home. After 60, you've got your social groove. Helen's cards were her lifeline. Remarriage can tweak that if your spouse rolls different. Dave liked quiet. Helen thrived on chatter. Talk it over early. Helen asked, "What's your perfect night?" Dave said, "Just us, maybe a movie." She said, "I need my gang too." They split it. Fridays hers, Saturdays his. Compromise keeps your world full. Invite your partner sometimes. Dave tried cards once, liked it okay. Keep your friends close. Helen hosted potluck so Dave could dip in and out. If they're social butterflies and you're not, set limits. Say, one party a month. Balance it, or you'll drift from what lights you up. Helen and Dave found their mix. Cards and couch together and apart. Truth number 9. Time feels more precious. Do you feel like every year goes by faster now? I met Ruth, 72, at a senior center craft day. Sharp, witty, knitting like a pro. She'd been alone since her husband died 20 years back, content with her routines. Then she met Bill at a lecture, soft-spoken, into history like her. They remarried, and Ruth told me, "I don't have time for drama. I want peace." Her first marriage had fireworks, big fights, big makeups, kids in the mix. Now she craved calm, coffee chats, quiet walks. Bill was steady, but early on he'd nitpick, her driving, her late suppers. Ruth nipped it fast. "Bill, I've got good years left. Let's not waste 'em arguing." He got it softened up. She'd learned from her first go, time's short, especially now. At our age, it flies. Birthdays blur, seasons race. Remarriage isn't about forever. It's making these years great. Ruth wanted joy, not stress. Ask, does this person lift me up or drag me down? Bill did once he eased off. Will we savor time or fritter it? Pick someone who gets that. Ruth tested Bill pre-wedding, watching how he handled small spats. Talk about it. I want easy days, do you? If drama follows them, big tempers, old grudges, think twice. Ruth kept her peace by setting rules, no rehashing little stuff. Spend time on what matters, walks, not wars. If it's not working, step back. Ruth knew she could. Time's your gold. Spend it with someone who makes it shine. Truth number 10. You might not need a ring. Ever thought you could love someone without walking down the aisle again? My buddy George, 69, was a divorcee. Messy split, years healing. He met Ann at a car show, feisty, car crazy like him. They dated, and it was magic. Dinners out, weekend drives, laughing till midnight. Friends said, "Remarry already." George thought about it. He loved Ann. But after his divorce, the legal mess, lawyers, splitting stuff, left scars. Ann felt it too. Her widowhood came with its own tangles. They talked. "Do we need a ring?" Both shrugged. Why? They kept dating. No vows, just love. George told me, "We're happy. Dinners, trips, no papers." Ann agreed. She liked her house. He liked his. After 60, marriage isn't the only path. Some remarry and thrive. Great. Others, like George, find the heart stuff's enough without the legal stuff. Think, do you want the contract or the connection? George skipped the hassle. Inheritance fights, benefit cuts. Test it. Date longer, see if it holds. George and Ann did a year. It stuck. Talk options. Live together, stay apart, commit without rings. Check your needs. Ann wanted her space, George his. No rule says you must wed. Society's old script doesn't fit everyone. If you crave marriage's security, go for it. But protect yourself, like truth number 4 says. George and Ann prove love bends. Find your shape and roll with it. There you go, friends. 10 truths to chew on before remarrying after 60. It's a lot, I know, but it's all about making this chapter your happiest yet. Want more? My next video, AS on 7. Subtle signs you re more attractive than you think after 65. Perfect for seniors figuring out love on their terms. Links right here. Before you head off, drop a comment. Which truth made you stop and think? I love hearing from you. It keeps me going. If this hit home, give it a like and subscribe. I'd love to keep sharing tips to brighten your days. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you soon.